Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Angeloni and I'll be the instructor for your instructional technology course this semester. Um, I'm going to be reviewing the syllabus, and this is in a program called Edpuzzle. So every once in a while a question will pop up to make sure you're paying attention. So please be sure to pay attention and answer the question. You'll get a few points for completing the Edpuzzle accurately. Okay, so this class is 3 semester hours, and we'll be meeting Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 a.m. However, I'm trying a new format this semester. It's a blended format, so my plan is that we'll have 1 week online and 1 week in person, back and forth. I did have to add some extra online classes, like today, for example, and at some other points in the semester when I have conferences to go to. So everything's listed on the calendar at the bottom of this syllabus, and I have a live link so that I can make changes on the fly, and you can always check that live link from the homepage of Canvas. My office is 311 Hailstones. My office hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays, either from 10 to 2 or noon to 2. But feel free to contact me if you need alternate times. I am on campus other times as well. I'll let you read over the mission statement, the university catalog description, and the course overview, although I do want to highlight that we're covering quite a few standards in this class. We cover the Ohio Standards for the Teaching Professions, which are covered as a whole in your program. By the time you're done, you should know and be able to do all 7 of those standards. We also cover the Ohio Technology Standards, but that also covers just all of the Ohio standards in general, because we use technology to teach the content. We don't just use technology in isolation. So those standards will be somewhat covered. The technology standards will be covered. And then the way that we organize the class are around the national standards, which are called the ISTE standards for educators and the ISTE standards for students, which were new in 2017 and 2016. And ISTE stands for the International Society for Technology and Education. So I'll talk about that more in a minute, and we'll spend time on Thursday also understanding those standards better. There is no required textbook for this course, so there's no book to buy. You do need access to a computer. I recommend you bring your laptop, although we are in a computer lab in Cohen 190, so there are computers available if you need it, or if you just forget it, or it's acting up or whatever. You'll need Canvas every course or every class period, online or in person. I organize on Canvas in the modules feature. So, make sure you're prepared and in Canvas for each class session. Obviously, you need the internet. Probably start deleting that from this syllabus. And a Google account. So if you don't have a Google account, go ahead and sign up for one. We'll be using the whole Google suite at various points in the class. I think it's also important to understand that we'll be signing up for a lot of free accounts. A lot of the sites that we use and that are used in education, you can get access to a free version by signing up for an account. That way we can try a lot of different things. And there are paid versions of each thing that we try typically, but we won't have to do that. You'll be just signing up for free accounts. Just know that you don't have to use any identifying information if you don't want. And also you can delete the accounts when we're done using them. Canvas, just make sure you're able to access Canvas, which you should be able to because you're here now. And here's my note about what I'm trying. Approximately half of our class sessions will meet face-to-face and half will be online. But please keep in mind that the online sessions may still take place at 8:30. So once in a while we might have a synchronous class, which means we'll meet in a web conferencing tool like Zoom is what Xavier has, and we'll meet at 8:30. I won't do that very often, but just make sure you understand that online doesn't always mean asynchronous, which means you can go at your own pace throughout the week. Once in a while, it will mean synchronous. Okay, here are the standards for the teaching profession. Again, you're covering those in all your courses. And then here are the ISTE standards for educators. And so we'll be organizing around these themes: learner, leader, citizen, collaborator, designer, facilitator, and analyst. And you'll see under facilitator, it says that you should support students in the ISTE standards for students. So we'll look at the educator standards and the student standards side by side. They almost match. I'll let you read the course outcomes. Here are our main assignments for the class. We have the Community Collaborative Lesson Plan, which is a group lesson plan. It's more like a unit. And then you'll have a technology integrated lesson plan that you will do on your own. And then we will visit the Academy of World Languages, and you'll be teaching that lesson plan to a small group in the last week of classes. I hope. I need to confirm that. You'll also be getting 50 points for being in class and participating actively. And then you'll also have 50 points for our homework on the online weeks, which will be Twitter chats. Sometimes there'll be other homework also, but there will be 5 or 6 Twitter chats throughout, and they'll be worth 50 points. And then your digital portfolio is your final, and I'll talk about that more later on. There are no makeups for in-class activities. So if you're not in class, you don't get the points. You didn't do the activities with us. So if you're sick, you're just taking a reduction of 5-ish points. You can still get an A in attendance if you miss a class or 2, but you get reduced in points. Here's the grading scale and how it's defined. Professionalism. Professional behavior is expected of all teachers, and so we expect it in each of the education classes here. I expect you to attend all class meetings and be on time. If you're more than 5 minutes late or you leave early, you're going to get half points for attendance. Please notify me of absences in advance if at all possible. If you miss 3 classes, you can fail the class. So you'll miss out on the attendance points, but after 3, you'll have a hard time meeting the objectives of the course, and so you can fail. If something is going on and you need an extended medical or family leave, then you should contact Dr. Dennis Long, and he will contact all your professors and let them know what's going on so that we can give you leeway in your attendance. Make sure you prepare carefully and completely for each class. It is very easy for me to tell when you haven't read, and I will deduct points on the Twitter chats if that is the case. All assignments should be typed, and for the bigger assignments, the lesson plans and the technology that goes along with that, I expect that to be written at a collegiate level. I do offer a redo on one assignment as long as you visit my office hours for us to discuss, and we'll make a plan for you to be able to redo one of those. With the obvious exception of the final, because that's turned in during finals week, so there's no chance to redo that. Again, Canvas is really important. I post everything there, so if you're not sure what to do for homework the next week, go to the prior week's module, and then you'll see posted there what you should have completed before the next class. I expect you to interact professionally with classmates, cooperating. Don't use your laptops or phones for non-academic purposes. Of course, you'll have your laptop out every day for this class, and sometimes we use your phone, we download apps and whatnot, but they should only be used for things for the class. Assignments are due on the date noted on the syllabus. Twitter chat should be completed by Friday at midnight, although I just want to see how that goes, and we might adjust that depending on how much time is needed. Grades for projects and larger assignments past the due date are reduced by 2 points for each day late, including weekends. So make sure if they're late that you get them in as soon as possible, or you could go down a letter grade pretty quickly. Academic support. So if you are a student with a disability, please make sure that you've spoken to Cassandra Jones and you have your accommodation letter sent officially so that I can provide any accommodations you need. Please don't hide accommodations. Being a differently abled human is part of life, and I want to provide accommodations that you need. So please make sure that that information is communicated officially. There's an Office of Student Success. Barb Garand is the success coach for the School of Education. And they have, they can hook you up with all sorts of different offices that can help you in different ways. So she's just a good contact point for anything that you need. There's also a writing center and a mathematics tutoring lab, although you won't need the mathematics tutoring lab. And then I included some information from the library as well. Be honest. It's expected that you are submitting original work. It can be very tempting in this class and others to find things on the internet to submit, but I want original work in both cases of the lesson plan. Certainly you can get ideas from the internet, but I want the ideas, the actual work to be original and not copied from anywhere else, especially Teachers Pay Teachers, which I really dislike, and I'm sure you'll hear more about that later. When you're writing, and if you cite anything, you should be using APA format, and I put a link to this Purdue OWL. It's just a really easy shorthand place to find how to cite something if you forget. Okay, so here's the course calendar, and again, this will change because I'm trying something new, and if something takes us a little longer, I'll push it back. So this first week we have one class online, and then on Thursday we'll see you in person. This is Introduction to Technology and Education. We'll also talk about the standards and some learning theory. Next week will be all online. You're going to set up your Twitter account. There will be some readings around Twitter and the learner standard. Week 3 will be in person, and so we'll talk about the student standard empowered learner. So my hope is that on the online weeks, we cover the educator standard and do a Twitter chat. On the in-person week, we're covering the corresponding student standard and doing some activities that you might do with students so that we're getting that more hands-on, and that's the purpose of us being in class together. We'll also have some guest speakers. We go to the makerspace, we visit a school. So those are the reasons that we get together in person in those portions of class. So you can follow along here, in-person, online. Fall break, we have an in-person class, and then it's fall break that week, and then online. And then here, week 9 is one of those ones where I have a conference, so the Thursday class is online. I'll make sure to send announcements beforehand just to remind you that that week's class will be a little bit different than the format that we've been following. Let's see, same thing with Thanksgiving. We have an in-person class that Tuesday, and then we're in Thanksgiving break, so we obviously won't be here. And then here, this one we'll figure out, hopefully meeting at the Academy of World Languages, either one or both of those days, to teach your technology integrated assignment. And then during finals week, the way that I created the portfolio assignment is that you can work on it each week. And if you keep up with it, you just simply turn it in during finals week and you're done. If you don't keep up with it, you'll have a lot to do to turn it in on finals week, but that's up to you and how you want to, budget your time. And just know, I'm reserving the right to make changes as circumstances dictate. You'll find out someday as a teacher, it's really hard to say, here's what we're doing for an entire semester. Adjustments always have to be made for one reason or another. So I really look forward to having you in this class. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the Twitter chats are going to be new and interesting, and so I hope you enjoy them too. So you'll finish this, and then there will be 2 more activities to do for the online component of class, and there's one short homework assignment. And I will see you Thursday.